I never imagined that a single conversation with my mother could unravel the fabric of my reality. But that was exactly what happened one fateful evening. It all started during a mundane dinner at our small family table, where laughter and love usually mingled with the aroma of my mother's famous spaghetti. But on that night, something felt off. The atmosphere was thick with an unspoken tension. As we settled into our meal, my mother, who was usually full of light-hearted banter, seemed distant, her gaze flickering between the wall and her half-finished plate. I could feel my stepdad, Tom, glancing at her with concern, his brow furrowed as he attempted to lighten the mood with his usual dad jokes. But nothing could break through the cloud hovering over my mother. I was 13, just starting to navigate the complex world of adolescence, and I could sense something was about to change. "Hey, Mum, you okay?" I finally asked, putting down my fork. She looked up, her eyes glistening as if she were fighting back tears. "Yeah, sweetie, just a bit tired. You know how it is." I nodded, but I could tell there was more to it. The way she avoided eye contact and fidgeted with her hands told me that she was holding something back. Tom, sensing the shift in the room, put his fork down. "How about we take a walk after dinner? Get some fresh air?" My mother hesitated, but then nodded. "That sounds nice." After dinner, we walked through the nearby park, the sun setting on the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple. It was a beautiful evening, yet the beauty around me only heightened the anxiety brewing inside. We found a bench under an old oak tree, its leaves rustling softly in the wind. "All right, Mom, what's really going on?" I pressed, my voice steady despite the churning emotions within me. She sighed deeply, her shoulders sagging as she looked down at her hands. "You deserve to know the truth about something I've kept from you for a long time." My heart raced. Was she going to tell me about a serious illness? A family secret? Whatever it was, I knew it wouldn't be easy to hear. "It's about your stepdad," she began, and my stomach dropped. "Tom isn't just your stepdad. He's been a part of something bigger, something I didn't want to involve you in." "What do you mean?" I asked, feeling a mix of confusion and fear. "He was involved in a lot of bad things before we met. Things he's trying to leave behind. I thought he had, but I found something out." As she spoke, I could see the pain etched on her face, the guilt that weighed heavily on her heart. "What did you find out?" "He has a past with the law," she continued, her voice barely above a whisper. "And I'm afraid it might come back to haunt us." The world around me faded, the laughter of children playing in the distance replaced by the pounding of my own heartbeat. My mind raced as I processed her words. Tom, the man who had been there for me through everything, who had taught me how to ride a bike and helped me with my homework, was he hiding something so dark? "What kind of trouble?" I managed to ask, my voice trembling. "Years ago, he was involved in some criminal activities, something with a gang. He swore he left it behind when he met me, and I believed him. But now," her voice cracked, and she took a moment to regain her composure. "I think they're looking for him." I felt as if the ground beneath me was shifting. "What do you mean? Looking for him? Why? Because he owes them. He thought he could escape, but they don't let go easily." Tears spilled down my mother's cheeks, and I felt a surge of anger. "Why didn't you tell me this sooner? Why marry him if he's dangerous?" "I thought it was all in the past," she sobbed. "I thought he was safe. I never wanted to scare you." A rush of emotions flooded through me: betrayal, fear, confusion. I couldn't reconcile the loving figure of Tom with the image of a dangerous criminal. My mind raced, piecing together the moments that now seemed tinged with darkness. The late-night phone calls, the occasional slips in his stories, the way he would sometimes glance over his shoulder as if expecting someone to follow him. "I need to talk to him," I said firmly, standing up. "Please, honey, don't." I'm scared of what could happen if you confront him, my mother pleaded, her eyes wide with fear. But I felt a surge of determination. If Tom was a threat to my family, I needed to know for sure. As we walked home, my mind was consumed with questions. I couldn't shake the feeling that our lives were about to change forever. Later that night, as my mother tucked me into bed, I felt a mix of comfort and dread. I knew I couldn't sleep until I got to the bottom of this secret. Once she left the room, I tiptoed down the hall and quietly opened the door to Tom's office. He was sitting at his desk, the glow of the computer screen illuminating his features. I decided to confront him again later that night, after my mother 4 minutes.